So now on for the main event. We have a non-traditional surf and turf. What I was thinking is how do you get a lusciously cooked steak at home? And I figured it out. We grill marked it, we seasoned it, then we put it in a vacuum sealed bag at rare with a wonderful, luscious infused oil that's going to hold that fat in. And then what we're going to do is we're going to finish those steaks in the oven along with some fingerling potatoes that we par cooked off and smashed so they get nice and crispy, and along with some duck fat and herbs. Then I have some asparagus that I blanched very quickly in a big vat of boiling salted water. So it turned the asparagus bright green, but left it raw. Then as it cooled, we threw it on the grill just to mark it and give a little char and smokiness. We're gonna finish that asparagus with a reduction of balsamic vinegar and some smoked Parmesan. I'm so excited for you guys to taste this. This one's a banger. So let's get started. How do we prepare this? How do we do this and pull this off in the restaurant fast, right? So this is how we're gonna do it for you. We're gonna pull our ingredients out. We have our asparagus in a container, our fingerling potatoes in a container, our crab remoulade, jumbo lump, normal lump crab, back fin crab meat, a lemon remoulade sauce, which is just fancy for tartar. Let's just be honest, but it sounds cooler on a menu. Some fresh chives, and we're gonna top our steaks with this at the last minute. Then we have our seasoning oil for our potatoes, duck fat, rosemary, garlic. Oh, this is awesome. This is what puts it over the top. It's all about the details. Then I have some smoked Parmesan, the reduced balsamic, and lastly, we have two wonderful center cut beef tenderloins. So we take the whole tenderloin and you hack it up, and you cut your steaks that way after you clean it. These are from the center. So 2 4-ounce fillets. Our potatoes are asparagus, and then we have our crab remoulade that will top over it. Let's talk about how we're going to do this. Simple, stupid, this easy. I want you guys this round to have a pair of scissors and a saute pan that you can put into your oven. I would love to have your oven preheated to 375 degrees, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're going to take our scissors and we're gonna slice open our bag that has our fillets, right? And we're gonna slide them right into our saute pan that's ready to go into our hot oven, right? It's that easy. Look, our steaks are seasoned, grill marked, we got some fresh herbs on there. It's amazing. Next up, we're going to lay our asparagus down in the pan as well. And our potatoes. So we have our trusty tongs from the first round. We'll lay our potatoes around, right? This is called a one-pan wonder at the Rothing household. The kicker is we did all the work ahead of time. So all you're doing, 8 minutes in the oven to bring these back to life and then plate. Easy money, right? We have our potatoes for 2. We have grilled asparagus, right? We're gonna spread it out amongst our pan so they all have their room, right? And this is gonna go into the oven for 8 minutes. You're gonna go have another glass of champagne, maybe tell your date or your partner, whoever you're with, how beautiful they look and how excited you are and how much fun you're having on Valentine's Day with them. Then you're gonna come back 8 minutes later and we're gonna plate this up. But in the meantime, follow me to the kitchen. I wanna show you some of the techniques. Here we are. We've assembled our oven-safe pan or maybe a baking sheet. We have our oven set to 375 degrees, nice and hot. We've arranged our dinner right there, one pan wonder. It's amazing. We're gonna slide it in, 8 minutes. Don't forget to set your timer. And we'll come back and we'll plate it up. Let's go. 8 minutes is up. We pulled our saute pan out of the oven. Our steaks are lovely medium rare. The way you can tell a steak's temperature, everyone has their own thing, you know, a million ways to skin a cat. For me, there's 2 telltale signs of a steak's temperature. The feeling of it, which is a little more nuanced because you have to go through repetition. Every steak of every cut of different animals all feel differently. And until you master that through repetition of having a career in the business, the best trick to do is to see how that steak bleeds, or as the juices run, what color are the juices running out of that steak? The deeper the red, the more rare. If the juices run clear, you got it. It's well done, right? So as you discern the hue of red to pink, and through that, you'll be able to gauge what temperature you like your steak. 8 minutes for me, medium rare steak, easy money, okay? But if you'd like more, just add more time. It's your dinner. You cook it the way you want to, okay? So, but let's get to it. Let's plate this thing up. So we have two beautifully marinated, seasoned petite fillets. And what we're gonna do, this is the star, so it's going right in the front there, right? And when you plate something in a restaurant, you plate it so the guest actually sees it, right? We think about that. What's 12 o'clock? What's 6 o'clock? When I plate the food and I place it in front of the guest, are they getting it where the steak's hidden? No, the steak should be front and center. So when you guys plate this, think about it. You want that right in the front so they can see that beautiful, very decadent, right, premium cut of steak. Then we fill in with all of those wonderful, like, you know, what are they, supporting actors, if you will, on the plate with the potatoes and the asparagus. So steak's down. Now we're going to split our asparagus amongst, you know, evenly and equitably amongst the table or the plates. So our asparagus is done and it's out. We had a little bit left over. We're left with our pan of potatoes. Now this pan's hot. Don't go reaching at the pan without a side towel. It's hot. So we've got our potatoes still in there. All of those maybe little bits of steak crusties are still in the pan. Now we have this wonderful infused oil, right? Our duck fat, herbs, garlic, rosemary, all in there. We're gonna bring it in. We're gonna toss it a little bit more. Now we're gonna lay those potatoes down now that they're coated in all of those aromatics. Oh, potatoes. Right? And we're building height as we do that. This is so cool. All right, so we move that out. So we have our steak, our potatoes, our asparagus. Okay, now we're going into the garnishes. The best part, we have some smoked Parmesan. We're gonna drizzle that, like sprinkle that right by our asparagus, right over the top, because it was charred. Then we have a little bit of balsamic, right, to sweeten this really savory dish up. We're gonna be patient and just let it fall, right? Okay. Lastly, we have a crab remoulade. That's what I said. It's like tartar sauce, but we spiked it with lots of lemon and awesome crab meat. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna split this evenly right over top of our fillets. Holy moly, talk about a savory winter surf and turf. This one right here is gonna take the cake. Now, if you wanna go another step, what I would do is I take these lovely pieces of herb that I braised, or excuse me, sous vide those steaks in and lay them over the top. Maybe not an edible garnish, but man, does it really speak to the dish itself though, because the thyme, the rosemary, it's ingrained through this dish in so many ways, with the potatoes, with the rosemary, the herbs that infuse that garlic for the steak as it sat there in the sous vide, right? I'm really stoked about this dish. I hope you enjoy it. Come back in a few minutes, save some room, because we've got chocolate mousse around the corner.